Hi guys, welcome back to another Matchbox Garage video. I'm Rob and today I shall be trying to amalgamate these two castings. We've got this obviously beautiful and well-known DMC DeLorean and this crazy kind of Matchbox off-road vehicle, and they're both in the same size and shape. I'm going to try and smash them together today. So, these are what we're playing with. And remember, this video, or if it reaches 2,000 likes, this car will be given away to one of you down in the comment section. So, please like the video if you want a chance to win. But the DeLorean here was sent to me by a viewer a little while ago. And it was basically with the kind of I say instruction, but also the desire for this to be turned into like a Mad Max or post-apocalyptic car. And I remember when I kind of done the unboxing video, people were like, this car is too nice, it's too clean, it's too valuable to kind of cut it up. But you know, this is the whole reason why I got this car. But it's a Vitesse brand. Made in China, but it is a very good quality. And then we've got this one. This was in another unboxing video, probably a couple of weeks later if I remember. But yeah, it's a Matchbox car. It's got some nice fun bits on it, you know, with the gun on the top and, well, two guns, look, another one on the side. It's got like the cool off-road tyres. It's got the bash bars and all sorts really that work perfectly for the Mad Max post-apocalyptic style. Now, I had no idea kind of how this was going to turn out. I had no idea on direction, but I got some interest. I got, the kind of, I don't know, it's a strange one really, because I'm trying to put something from one car that is obviously made for onto another car that is not made for it. And yeah, it's going to take a lot of creativity for this to work. And it's taken me 3 days to put this car together, to be honest. Mainly because I didn't want to rush it. I didn't want to just throw parts at this car. I wanted to take my time. I wanted it to look good. I didn't want it to kind of look silly, or at least, in my opinion, it doesn't look silly at the end. But this is coming apart nice and easy. No drilling required. Obviously it had the screws on the bottom. Same with the DeLorean, that's also got screws. Now, it's got a bit of weight to this casting, and I like that it had a little star on the front there. Probably a nod towards the American military. And I'll make sure that a star gets replaced on the DeLorean later on. So yeah, this is not me drilling it out and putting the screws in. This was already had screws, so yeah, no drilling, no tapping, no using lubrication today, no handy vice. So I apologise for those that seek that out in my videos. Here's the interior of the car. Great detail actually in the seats and the interior, and I'll be keeping this as it is. It feels flimsy, it feels really thin, it feels almost like it would, if I put a little bit of tension on it, a little bit of, it would snap instantly, almost like a cracker. That's how it felt like a thin cracker, even though the rest of the casting felt of great quality. And that brushed kind of, is it brushed stainless steel, I think, on the real car. That's what it felt like that. You could actually feel it on your skin. It wasn't smooth. It had like a texture to the bodywork. So like I say, I had no idea, no kind of direction, and I was trying to figure out how to, put this together. But I knew that I wanted to obviously jack it up on the wheels. I wanted to somehow get the kind of bull bars on the front there. Obviously the roll cage somewhere on the top, or and I was thinking, I'm not too sure whether this is going to work, to be honest. But I'm working on a base here. As you can see, I've put some styrene, glued it in the middle, and it kind of acts like some of the Matchbox suspension, so that there's a little bit of play in the ends, so there's still a little bit of suspension with the wheels. And then I put a little bit of wood and a little bit of styrene on the back as spacers, basically. And then I'll go with the stock base for the DeLorean, because I know that it's obviously going to fit the car. But if I can kind of mould the Matchbox off-roader to the DeLorean base and try and make this seamless, then the car will go back onto its standard chassis. So I've glued it into place, and I'm having a little look, seeing what else I can kind of go with next. Now, of course, this was like kind of side bars, and I'm thinking, yeah, I can maybe kind of cover up a bit of the ugliness on the front and rear with these. I'm going to cut these off now. And I'll tidy that up in a little while, but just to kind of give you a little hint on really where I want it and how I want it to look. And I've stuck those on now, but I've also kind of filled in the sides with a bit of styrene. And I hope you'll agree that's coming along quite nicely, that base. Of course, it's all different colours at the moment, and once it's all one colour, it will start to come together, or at least that was my hope. But obviously it now rolls nicely, and the as you can see, it's still very wet underneath there. I just went with some black kind of, well, actually used, let me just reach for it. It was an enamel. I don't really know why I used a matte enamel. I then kind of filled it in and tidied it up the following day, and I just used my Vallejo black, which makes life a lot easier. So I'm just placing the body back here just to really see what it looks like, and trying to figure out what of the remaining parts can I fit onto this casting. I'll try and figure out how these bull bars will go on. Whether I put them underneath, kind of one way or the other. Whether they kind of go in the middle or above the lights, maybe on the roof there. Obviously with the gull-wing doors, it really did actually restrict me with what I could do on top of the car. I couldn't put a gun on top of the car. I couldn't put these bull bars or extra lights on top of the car. I couldn't put the roll cage on top of the car because those doors just got in the way. Part of me says that's a bit of a shame, but at the same time it just meant further creativity was required. And who doesn't love gull-wing doors anyway? So to hide them up would have been sacrilege, right? So realistically, you know, I wanted to use this gun. And the only place for me to do that was on the bonnet. Or the hood, as you say in America. And here's kind of a, you know, where I'm having troubles with the doors there, what to do with this roll cage. So obviously there you can see there's not really too much I can do with it. And I didn't want to have it sticking right up in the air, that would have looked silly. But then I started to think, do you know what, that's almost kind of perfect shape and size for me to get it right down low over the back like that. And rather than a roll cage, maybe kind of see it as, bearing in mind this is a mid-engine car, put it as like a protection for that rear engine, or mid-engine. So there's the bull bars on the front where I placed them. Obviously you've got the gun there mounted, and now that rear kind of bump bar and bull bar and protection for the engine base, and I'm quite happy with that. And as you can see, I've had a little bit of extra detail, painted in the lights, painted in the wheels there, added a couple of little kind of skull and crossbones, and there's the nod to that original star on the top there. I've touched in a lot of the black paint, especially where the glue kind of dried in white. But yeah, it's now kind of glued together, and I'm really happy with that. That is pretty cool. And I'm going to add some of the, I guess, the Mad Max or the post-apocalyptic kind of mud splashes and what have you for the final reveal. And here she is. So you can see now that I've kind of dry brushed, which is a new method that I'm learning, or have learned. Just dry brushed on some kind of highlights for the metal areas, and then obviously some brown mud, just so that it looks like it's used. It looks like it's going through the plains of tomorrow. But anyway, I just want to thank my patrons. And very brand new patron, Damon West. Thank you, sir. And thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you'll like the video and stick around for the next one.